Imagine waking up in London, a city known for its timeless history, unique charm, and vibrant culture. You're not just waking up in any ordinary place, though. This is London, the heart of Europe, full of creativity, energy, and an undeniable sense of wonder. Now, what if I told you that you had the chance to live with someone who's not just a local or an average Londoner, but someone who's known across the world for his extraordinary career? Someone who's starred in iconic movies like Pirates of the Caribbean and Edward Scissorhands? Yes, I'm talking about none other than Johnny Depp. Right now, Johnny Depp is living alone in London, and here's the big question: would you want to live with him? This may sound like a surreal, almost impossible opportunity, but what if it was real? What if, for a moment, you were invited to live in the same space as one of the most famous actors of our time? The chance to share his world, hear his stories, and witness firsthand the life of a man who's seen and done it all. It's easy to imagine what it would be like, but would it actually be as glamorous as it seems, or would the reality be something different? Let's start by thinking about London itself. This isn't just any city. London is a place where every street, every corner, every building has its own story to tell. It's a city that combines old-world charm with modern sophistication. Picture it now: the cobbled streets, the little cafes tucked away in narrow lanes, and the constant hum of activity in the air. It's not just a place, it's an experience. Now, imagine living in a neighborhood like Notting Hill or Soho, areas that are known for their artsy, bohemian vibe, where creativity flows freely and history lives in every brick. Living in one of these iconic areas of London would already set the stage for something extraordinary. But here's the catch. Johnny Depp isn't just living in any old flat or apartment. He's living in one of the most desirable places in London. He's not living like the typical tourist or an ordinary celebrity. No, Johnny Depp's lifestyle is a blend of luxury, simplicity, and creative freedom. For someone like him, London offers a perfect combination of peace and the occasional burst of excitement. And if you were living with him, you'd likely find yourself in the midst of it all: the lively streets, the culture, and of course, the quiet moments where everything slows down, and you can actually catch your breath. But what would life be like with Johnny Depp? Is it all glamour and movie star excitement? At first glance, you might think it is. After all, he's one of the most famous actors in Hollywood. He's lived through some of the most intense experiences both in his career and personal life. It's easy to imagine that living with him would mean constant excitement, endless parties, and luxury every day. However, when you think about it more deeply, you start to realize that living with a celebrity isn't as simple as it seems. Let's get real for a moment. Johnny Depp, despite his fame, is known for being a private person. He's not the type to always want to be in the spotlight, and this side of him would likely impact the way he lives. Unlike many other celebrities who thrive on attention and being surrounded by people, Johnny enjoys his downtime. He's known to be introspective, spending time reading, reflecting, and exploring his many passions outside of acting. While the public may have seen Johnny in all sorts of dramatic moments, his personal life is likely filled with much quieter, more peaceful moments. So, what would it really be like to live with him? To start, you wouldn't have to worry about constant parties or wild events. Sure, there would be occasional get-togethers, but Johnny would likely prefer the quiet moments, the times when he could relax and enjoy a peaceful evening at home. Maybe you'd find him sketching out ideas for a new project, or perhaps he'd be strumming his guitar, experimenting with some new music. The idea of living with a celebrity might seem like a whirlwind of excitement, but the reality is that Johnny Depp's home life is probably much more subdued than the movies would have you believe. Still, there are other aspects to consider. Imagine the day-to-day living situation. Living in a city like London means constantly being on the go. Johnny Depp is no different. With his career, he's often traveling or working on new projects. So, while you might think of him as this constant presence, the reality is that there will be days where he's not around. There might be long stretches of time where you're living alone in a beautiful flat, with little more than your own thoughts and a few of Johnny's artistic creations to keep you company. Could you handle that? Some people might love the freedom and solitude that come with it, while others might feel a bit lonely. And let's not forget about the fame aspect. We've all seen the headlines, the pictures of Johnny Depp on the red carpet, the paparazzi following his every move. Now, imagine that level of attention following you around every time you leave the house. Every trip to the store, every casual walk around the block could potentially become a moment for the paparazzi to snap a picture. It might sound exciting at first, but could you handle the constant glare of the public eye? This is one of the biggest challenges when it comes to living with a celebrity. Even though you're sharing a space with someone famous, it doesn't mean you'll be left alone to go about your business as usual. The spotlight is always there, and that could be a lot to handle. But let's shift gears for a second and think about the positives. Living with Johnny Depp would likely open the door to a whole new world of experiences. You'd get to witness firsthand what it's like to be an artist. Whether it's watching him work on his next film, hearing about his latest creative project, or simply learning about his life philosophy, it's clear that there would be a lot to take in. For anyone who's a fan of his work, just being around him would be an experience in itself. But beyond that, you'd also get the chance to see Johnny as a person, not just as the character he plays on screen. Imagine sitting with him, chatting over a cup of coffee about life, fame, and everything in between. Johnny Depp has always been known for his unique perspective on the world, and living with him could offer the chance to learn from his experiences. He's lived through some of the most challenging moments in Hollywood and has come out the other side. Being around someone like him could provide valuable insights into the world of film, art, and the human experience. Of course, there would also be moments of humor. Johnny Depp is known for his wit and his ability to make people laugh, even in the most serious of situations. Living with him might mean hearing funny stories from his past, sharing inside jokes, and perhaps even getting involved in some lighthearted pranks. But alongside the humor, there's also a side to Johnny that's much more serious: his passion for music, his love for the arts, and his drive to constantly challenge himself. This mix of humor, passion, and depth is part of what makes him so captivating, and it's something that you'd likely get to experience up close. But let's be clear, living with Johnny Depp would also come with its share of challenges. Fame is a double-edged sword. On one hand, it opens doors to incredible opportunities and experiences. But on the other hand, it brings its own set of pressures and struggles. Johnny has gone through a lot in his personal life, and living with him could mean seeing those challenges up close. You'd witness the toll that fame can take on someone's mental and emotional well-being. Could you support him through those moments, or would it become too overwhelming for you? And here's something else to consider: boundaries. Celebrities live with a certain level of privacy that most people can't even begin to understand. Living with Johnny Depp would mean respecting his space, his time, and his need for solitude. It would also mean understanding that not every moment can be shared with the world. Could you handle keeping such a personal, intimate lifestyle behind closed doors? Or would the temptation to share your experiences on social media or with friends be too great? So, would living with Johnny Depp be all fun and excitement? Or would it come with challenges you never imagined? Well, like anything in life, it's a mix of both. Johnny Depp is a fascinating, multi-layered person, and living with him would certainly open your eyes to new experiences and insights. It wouldn't be all red carpets and fancy dinners, but it would definitely be something out of the ordinary. Whether you'd be able to handle it depends on your own personality and what you're looking for in a living situation. But if you're someone who's open to new experiences, who values creativity and authenticity, and who doesn't mind the occasional brush with fame, then living with Johnny Depp could be an unforgettable adventure. So, here's the big question: would you take the opportunity to live with Johnny Depp? Or would the challenges and constant attention be too much for you? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think. Could you handle the ups and downs of living with a celebrity, or would you prefer a quieter, more private life? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. There's plenty more where that came from, and I can't wait to dive into more celebrity stories with you. So, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you in the next one.